Hello, everyone. Hello, beautiful people out there. Good to see you. Paul Tranny here with the one and only Farah Manley. Hi, Farah. How you doing today?
Hi, everyone. I'm good.
Awesome. Good to see you again. Day two, of course. And I think we had a lot of fun yesterday. I was amazed at the amount of work that you did in a short amount of time. I'm sure we'll review that. But I want to welcome everybody in chat. I see Marsha and Wade and Joshua and Richard. What's up, everyone? Anthony Jackson in the house. So good to
Hey,
have you here.
everyone.
Yeah, we're kind of watching chat. We're here to answer questions. Coach Farah's here to answer questions. I'm just here to harass her with them.
Perfect.
You know, hope you don't mind a little light questioning while you're working.
Absolutely, please. I love
All
those.
right, good, good,
Um,
good.
okay, so I'll just sort of say hi. My name is Farah Manley. It's nice to see new faces, and thanks for everyone that's coming back today. So, those that don't know, a little background about me. So, I did both my master's and undergrad in architecture, and I currently practice it. But it was during my mat leave with Heston that I started to get really creative. And so if you guys check my Instagram, follow me. Would love to see you guys and say hi. You can sort of see how playful things have gotten. With my background in architecture, I thought like, hey, it'd be kind of cool to do kind of the complete opposite with Photoshop. So this is sort of what I do in my free time. Would love for you guys to follow along. And if you guys are ever interested in seeing speed edits and how I kind of do my photoshopping, I've started to create it on my YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe. And of course, I'm on Behance. You can see Instagram doesn't always show, like the images are small. So when you're here, you can at least get a look at sort of the high resolution and how I break down sort of my edits. So this one's kind of fun because it's a little bit of like architecture / my surreal style. So I break it down, show you guys sort of what I use.
I love it. I love it when people show the breakdown.
Yeah, like the
that.
progress. I think it's kind of cool. So people get an idea, like you can kind of do it yourself. So yeah, follow along. And let me show you guys what I'm doing today. So those that joined me yesterday sort of saw up to this point where it was all about photo compositing, getting all the animals in together to create a story, and a lot of cutting and cleaning. And I think some of you guys will notice I did do a little adjustment. I added a little bit more texture in the background, adding clouds, and the penguins have hats now. But
Yay.
yeah, little hats.
Yeah.
And so the rest of today, I'm going to be focusing mostly on how to kind of match colors, how to add shadow, how I like to do highlights, and sort of finish off an image so that it looks cohesive, like it's meant to be one image. And then take it to Lightroom Mobile for a little bit of color consistency. You can see that on my Instagram page, how I personally prefer sort of a cohesive look when it comes to color and texture and stuff. So that's why I always take it to Lightroom Mobile to just finish that look. So yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. And
Awesome.
yeah, I mean, you did a lot of cutting out some stuff you had set up before, but yeah,
Yeah.
this is looking really good. I do like sort of the little adjustments you did between yesterday
Yeah.
and today,
Yeah.
like
So
the
that I can
turtles and
jump right in.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So why
cool.
don't we start? If anyone has any questions and comments, please share.
Yeah, everybody's just saying hello. They shared your
Hi.
Instagram, and all that good stuff.
Awesome.
Rob's here for this.
Yeah.
They like the block, the person with the block heads, I guess. I don't know what you
Oh
call
yeah,
that.
yeah, the one from my Behance page. Yeah. I like being, you see, sometimes I'm like super whimsy and fun, and I think that happens because of Heston. But then the inner me, some of you guys know, like I like to be a little crazy and a little surreal. So I like to bring that out when it's like my own personal piece. So
Yeah, and Heston is your son,
my
right?
little son, yeah.
Cool.
He pops in my Instagram once in a while. Okay, so why don't I start by showing you guys. Okay, so my process when it comes to like shadows and highlights is pretty basic. Once I start doing one, I tend to do it for all of them. So some of them you will see me just kind of click away real quick, and then others I will kind of do it with you guys. Okay, where is my animal folder?
And to answer your question, Marsh, so you're Farah, she's not on an iPad, but you will be on Lightroom Mobile later on, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
I'll show you guys
Sweet.
on my phone. Okay, so let's start with the elephant. I'll show you guys an example of sort of what it tends to look. You guys can already see, first of all, how patchy, because this was actually two images, and one's a little bit on like the yellow tone, and one's kind of a gray. So what I tend to do, I'll start with the color. So what I usually do is I make a new curves adjustment. And then when you actually select it, let me hide this guy a little bit.
Yeah.
You kind of use, like, I mean, you can probably explain this better, Paul.
No, you.
Going through this, but I tend to pick like the darks and the whites of like another object that I'm trying to replicate and match that. So I'll show you guys. It's a little bit of tweaking here and there sometimes. For example, if I want to, actually, I'm going to double click it first. Yeah, if you double click, then you can select the shade.
Cool.
Sometimes, you know, I just pick yes if I want it to be like a consistent throughout all the images. For now, I'll just do yes, whatever. So yeah, then you can start seeing like it's starting to match. Then the highlight, double click. I think in this case, I'm gonna pick this guy because he seems to be the brightest. Yes. And then pick like a high, the whitest of the whitest. So then you can kind of, it's super subtle, but it's starting to match. You know, that's kind of what I do with all of the animals. So that's kind of what I'll do first. I think
there's even, I don't know if you want to know, like another way within curves, which is kind of neat. I've been doing this and I love it.
Yeah.
So do you mind? Do you want to try it?
I like to know different ways.
Cool.
Absolutely. Yes.
And maybe it'll be helpful. So just add a new curves layer just like you did.
All right. That's
So
the new one. Curves.
And then just, yep, there you go.
Yeah.
And now go up to the properties panel. Yeah, there you go. And then go to the fly out menu in the upper right corner, those three little lines. And then go to auto options. And then click the find dark and light colors. Now it's basically the same process, but if this makes it simpler for people,
that's cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of the same thing.
Is this picnic? And then from here, you would most likely
do exactly what you were doing.
Oh,
okay. It's pretty.
That's pretty cool. That's like two very similar. Okay, so then can you save that, and that way would you be able to use it on other ones as well? Okay, so
yeah, so this is pretty much the same thing. But I honestly, I do it this way. I've never done it the way you did it.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, that's kind of easier too. So
yeah, like
I like it.
It's I guess one click less, but I mean that makes a big difference. So, but I like that too. So I think what I did was yes. So you can see originally it was a bit yellow tone, and with the curves, I'm starting to get it closer to the body. What else did I do before? Because I kind of was testing this out because it takes sometimes a bit of time. This is, I believe, hue and saturation. Okay. So then I want to see what I do. What did I do before? I think this was from today.
Looks like the color matches.
Yeah, it does. And then, so I'm going to actually turn these ones off. I think this one is closer. And then I'm just going to do that for the rest of them. It's going to be super subtle, but I'm going to be picking the bright. Well, I guess what I tend to do is when I look at the entire image, I kind of look at the brightest and the darkest that I want it to be consistent throughout. So in this case, I did like the white shade on the little lemur. So I use that as reference. And then I can show you guys with the giraffe as well. I'll do the same thing. I know I have like some things already set up, but again, same process. Curves, clip, and I think in this case, the white, I'm just gonna double check to make sure I have it saved so that it won't be picking up a different way. Yeah. Perfect. And then, yep, I'll save that target. In this case, it might not change too much. Yeah, so it's not bad. Same thing with the darks. I think in this case, I believe I'm gonna pick, I find the elephant might be a little harsh, but I'm just gonna test it out. Because this is a pretty dark.
Oh yeah.
When you don't double click. Yeah, I'm gonna see what this does. Oh, okay, fine. And in this case, you know, something the nose. Yeah, so it just ever so slightly changes, but it starts to kind of be consistent throughout all the animals. So I did that with the lion. So you can see again the difference. Oops. Yeah, so again, the blacks and the whites are starting to, and I'm kind of slightly desaturating it as well. So I will show you guys that with the rest of them.
Cool. And then I have a question or
Yeah,
a challenge
for, sure.
for you. Like,
yeah.
well, for like later on, like, I don't know.
Oh.
I was just thinking, like, how do you get rid of some of the shadow that's on the elephant's face? I'll let you finish all this, but like, how would you? Part of his face is kind of cast in shadow.
Yes. Okay. So that is. I'm gonna actually work with that, especially with animals. I find like we're not actually going to be able to tell them to pose a certain way or a certain time of day. You know, with animals, you're kind of going to get what you get on the images. So in this case, I've noticed that majority of my animals, the sun is actually casting straight above. So I'm actually going to use that to my advantage and then create the shadows that way. So most of my shadows will be underneath. Like you see how the elephant, for example, here, it's going to be kind of hard. You can do it, it takes a lot of time, but I'm like, why not just work with it? Like I'm even noticing the giraffe here. You can see like the underside of the belly and the neck. It looks like it's like noon right now. So I'm actually going to play with that. And I find it's almost easier to work with darks and adjusting the lights, if anything, and adding shadow above them. So that is actually a good question. And that's what I'm going to be doing, having the sun right above us.
Okay.
And create shadows.
Sounds good.
Excellent question. So I'm going to show you guys some of the other ones that I've already started. Adjusting. Yeah, so like this one I had done earlier because it does take a little bit of tweaking, but same process, you know, taking the curve adjustment and using the, I guess, sample tool to sort of pick out a shade that resembles closest to the other. And I believe I did not do that for the turtle, so that'll be fun. I'll do that. I think I did the same thing with the flamingo right here. So yeah, I picked the same highlight. So now you can see that the white is matching the same white here. Before, I think I had a little bit of like a yellowy pinkish tone. So yeah, that's just like the slow sort of start. I think I did the same for this little guy. Actually, I didn't need to, I believe. Okay, so then once I have the curve adjustments figured out, actually, let me do the turtles since I did not do that. I wanted to kind of work with you guys and chat at the same time today rather than just have them all ready. It's not fun. Okay. So let's see.
I love the turtles. I love the texture on those turtles.
Yeah.
It's real nice.
Okay. I'm gonna grab this dark.
Also, quick shout out. We do have the Daily Creative Challenge, by the way, today. So that's what Jesus just covered, but just go ahead and check out the challenge tab and we'll get that party started.
Amazing. I can't wait. What was today's theme?
I will actually.
I'm curious.
Show ya. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Okay, let me maybe clean up my desktop. There we go. You guys don't need to see all my personal stuff. It's boring.
Boo.
All my files that are named. I literally did a whole design today between last night and today, and I didn't save the file once till I was like finished with it. I was like, geez, it still says JPEG.
That's some good risk taking over here.
I like literally my battery died on my laptop and everything.
Oh my God.
And so, but today's daily creative challenge: apply beautiful color gradients to your photos using the new color grading tool in Lightroom.
Fun.
And of course, there's the starter file, so that'll be good times. And so yeah, just through that challenge tab. If you're over, I see a couple people over on YouTube, Ida and Sasha. So yeah, join us over on Behance, so you can take advantage of that tab, and we'll review those designs in about 80 minutes. So.
Excellent. Okay, I'm going to now start creating shadows. I think this is where I tend to like just kind of drift off, and literally it's like therapeutic to me, because I know people want to rush it. Like I've rushed like pieces before, but I find like shadows and highlights really make a difference. And if you take a little bit of time, it's worth it. So like, see, like right there, like it's now merging the two.
Yeah, do that again. Turn that off and then turn it back on.
Boom.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of
layering, and I'll
difference.
show you guys. Like, yeah. So what I tend to do is just create a new layer and have it clip to the image. So that way, like, you know, when you're brushing it, it's not like spreading out into like the other layers. So now it's clipped to that image, and then I use multiply, and with multiply I use a brush, a soft brush, and I tend to like a soft round brush. I go like really low when it comes to my like opacity, like almost like 8, 9, and it's almost like you're brushing. So my brush, let's see, where am I? That might be, oh right, multiply, it's on white, haha. And then so you pick a shade that actually exists in the animal, rather than just picking black, or I know like we think shadows are like pitch black, but I think if you pick a dark tone from already an existing body, it tends to look more natural. So yeah, like, and this is like probably my favorite thing to do. So after I like positioned everything, I literally watch Netflix or something, listen to some music, and just brush away, and it makes such a difference to like the piece. Like already, like you can see like they're tying in together. And because the aim is like, you know, noon, I'm gonna keep the shadows below, and then I just start to brush away.
Yeah, it looks it just,
already. Yeah,
a world of difference there.
Oh, let me show you guys.
So
like,
it's almost like the problem wasn't so much because I was like, oh, lighten its, you know, the elephant's face, when really just like adding that shadow.
Exactly.
The trick.
Exactly. So like, let's see what's that. Oh yeah, and then there's a couple of layerings I tend to do. So sort of the larger, massive surface, and then you can start to create another layer to create some sort of depth and sharper. Oh, that's later. That's my highlight. So yeah, that starts to make a big difference, I find. Like already. Yeah. Looks like he's not a headless elephant, and they're starting to match. So I'll show you guys.
Yeah, that's good. Another way to do this, just Maine. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Maine in chat.
Yeah.
Maine, Gabriel. Anyways. So yeah, there's a couple different ways to do this. What I was like kind of working on this morning was like, you can add, just like you added the curves, or add a levels and adjustment layer, and then make it darker or lighter, and then you paint on that layer mask is another way to add shadow. So she's just asking what I would do. What's another way?
So what do you do? Like, what's your way?
I'll open up a file and then I'll just show you.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I find like, there's like so many ways. There's so many new ways of doing similar things, and I love to learn like fast methods, or this for me. It kind
of just like depends on the subject matter, I feel. Totally. You know, like what it is. So
Let's see. Yeah, look at this. So I'm just gonna, this makes a huge difference. This was me, again, same thing. This is like literally one layer of playing with the multiply and sitting and creating the shadows. So I'll show you guys how I did it. So again, same process, adding multiply, and then just using the shadows already existing. Like in this case, I was just using this right here, multiply, and again, roughly around like 8%. Yeah.
It's looking good. It's really fun. Just
Yeah.
it just adds the like depth to this whole piece.
Absolutely.
So, and it's always interesting because when the light is at say like high noon, when light is really bright, that's actually when you need to go like darker with your shadows.
Absolutely.
Like
Like
everything
you can go
else is
aggressive.
brighter. Yeah.
I might actually do that. Like now I'm just, just making sure like, does it make sense? But I find like, all these animals, I think were in like different areas, different times. So once you start adding the shadows, it's going to automatically feel like it's in the same space. I don't know. It just gets me excited. I'm like, yeah, they're all together and it makes sense.
It's totally working and fun to watch. I'll just switch over like really fast. I don't want to like belabor this point, but I'll just like switch over.
For sure.
Farah, you can watch if you want to.
I'm so offended. I'm just joking.
No,
I want to learn. Tell me.
Well, first of all, this is like my stuff is like super messy.
No,
your stuff seems cleaner, but
not at all.
Let's just take a look at this. Chest is really bright.
Yeah.
So of course you'd add, just like you were doing, you add curves. Right, and then you start to, and I'll pull out this properties panel, start to darken everything, like zoop, like that. See how it's like that much darker,
and then
which
you
is
mask
good.
that out. That I totally know what you're talking about.
Exactly. So that's pretty dark, and then right here for this layer mask, that's where you start painting. So I hit B for brush, hit X to put white in the front. Actually, I need to reset it. Just go to the soft round, just like probably just like you were doing.
Totally.
And then I take, obviously take your flow down. But now, actually, no, I need black in the front because I want to erase. So it's like I added the shadows and now I'm painting more. I'm painting more with light on this, as you can see. Because maybe be a little bit brighter right here. You get the idea.
I love it.
So, and then you just start adding all these things. And to make things more complex, we'll cover this another time. It's like, you can have levels and curves on an actual layer and not on a separate adjustment layer. It could be nested in here. And that's what I do when I just like want to keep it. I know I just want it to be darker for this layer and I don't want to mess with it. And then I just tuck it away. So it kind of helps clean things up a touch.
I like it.
But again, that's because mine was like so dark compared to yours. Yours is brighter. That's why I was like, I gotta make everything really dark.
A lot, but yours is definitely more efficient. If someone has to do something like super quick, but just enhance the shadows really quickly, that's like a great way to do it. This is more for like, I've got an evening. I just feel like chilling and shading.
Yeah. And again, I was making everything I needed everything to be really dark. You really just need these little touch-ups in these little areas. So I would do the same thing. It really doesn't matter whether you're painting on a mask
or, but you know what? I think like with mine, technically, I think mine has a little bit more control when it comes to color too, because since it's a new layer, I could pretty much pick any shade I want and still work on that layer and have it multiply, and that way there's more of like a blend.
Yeah, that's true because
yours is like one layer, but you could use multiple layers and still get that depth though. So
the nice thing is since it's an adjustment layer, I could make it darker or lighter as I adjust the curves if I need to. Because sometimes if you're painting on top of something, you're painting that one color on top of the lights and on top of the shadows. And what levels or curves does is it changes everything. Whatever value it's at, it's taking it down a notch.
Oh, yeah.
But so honestly, both ways will get the same result. Because just like you were saying, right in here, you could change the blend mode too and all that. I noticed yours is on multiply.
Yeah,
I probably already mentioned that, but
yes. So when it comes to my shadows, I like to use multiply, And then when it comes to like the highlights, it's sort of between overlay and screen, but I tend to use screen a lot, and I'll show you guys that after I get all like sort of the dark tones completed, because I find like I'm more heavier with my shadows and accent it with the highlights, just where the sun is hitting on top. So I kind of want to get this figured out. Okay, so I sort of did a little bit on the lion. You can see a huge difference. So right now, that's just him now. And then with the multiply, you can already tell.
I love it.
Yeah. Like it's, oop. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, looks good.
See, like it just starts to stick out and enhance. So yeah, just picking out already existing shadows and then multiply just enhances that. Give him a little cheekbone action.
Yeah.
Contour his face.
Fun. Give him a little detail. I like it.
I can just, this is like my favorite part always. Just kind of zone away. Yeah, so I can probably darken a little bit underneath. Like I can get more aggressive and I can always like duplicate the layer too, and then that way I don't have to keep sitting around here and doing it, but you know, it's fun.
Yeah. I like it. Looks like Wade asks about you could get, I guess, kind of really detailed and account for like say bounced light or color spill when painting in shadows. So do you account for those?
The bounced light?
Yeah, like if there was a bounce of light somewhere.
Totally. I feel like this one's a little bit tricky because it's a cloud, and I'm like, how?
Yeah, they're really. Yeah, how would
this one's a bit tricky. No, I was even thinking about it in general. I'm like, what would it like? Even like, do you get a shadow on a cloud? I'm curious because nobody really sits on a cloud unless someone has and could tell me. But
yeah, anybody out there?
It's tricky, but absolutely, I agree. Like when you're on like a shiny object, you do have to like consider off bounce light, and like you said yesterday, like looking at reference is a great way to make sure you get that right. Like looking at existing images.
Yeah, exactly, and just kind of know the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Of.
No one's gonna try to create new shadows. It's always good to look.
I'm glad Wade brought that up because like that will like not in this case it's not needed, but
but absolutely. If
you're
thinking about materials, like, and that's like something even like in architecture and stuff, you can't mess around with that stuff when there's a material that do bounce off light versus ones that don't. You should consider that. It represents the material too. So I'm just gonna play with this guy a little bit. I feel like I can go darker like you were saying because it is like pretty sunny, or I will try to attempt to make it feel like it's a sunnier day and cast a shadow. A little bit.
Farah, do you have any questions, any thoughts on dodge and burn for lightening and brightening or shadowing?
Yes, I also use that as well. That's a great tool to do the same effect, really. I'm trying to think, like, I have used it in the past. I think recently I found I have more control with, I feel like it's all the same almost, but I have used it and I do like using dodge and burn. I'm wondering if it's like a little harsher though. I'd have to like think about it, but I don't know. What do you think, Paul? Like, have you tried it that way?
Yeah. The only issue with it is you have to work on the actual pixel layer, so it's destructive.
That's right.
That's what you have to be careful
That's probably
about.
why I switched it to like a separate layer and do the multiply and screen, because that's exactly why. That's unfortunate. There is like a tutorial I've seen where you could get the same look using dodge and burn. Yeah, it's You have to find it on YouTube though. There's some amazing tutorials online.
I'll show kind of quickly as you like do that. And again, this might be what you'll see out there, and then we can talk about the issue with this as well.
Yes,
but
cool.
you go down, you create a new layer. You could hold down the Option key, and if you click Add Layer, it'll bring up this New Layer dialog. And from there, what people do is they paint on a soft light layer. So we'll go down to wherever soft light is there.
There it is, yeah.
And then you say, hey, fill this with a neutral color, 50% gray.
Yes.
So now you're
yes.
Yeah. So now you'd be painting with
right.
with black and white to kind of simulate the dodge and burn.
That's
the issue with this, especially with yours, is like if you want to move anything around, all your shadows and everything are going to be off. So that's
you mean
the
like
problem.
the object itself? Like if you were to move the object?
Yeah.
Or,
like the way yours is kind of set up is you have it all separated out. You could move the penguin because the shadows are attached. But this is often what people do is I feel like it's often like a last step that you do when you finish up a piece. But anyways.
Totally. I do remember, yeah.
And sometimes I will, I'll literally like copy and paste all the layers so the whole piece is on, it's just one flat image. And of course that's me. I would then kind of sharpen it or do the dodge and burn on a flattened layer that's above everything else. I think what you end up doing is you use Lightroom, which is awesome, to bring out any details and do any of your colorization.
Well, I do a little bit of both. You guys are going to actually see me, like how I tend to save my file after it's complete. And then once I take it to Lightroom, there is a little, I do flatten it actually. And then I convert it to a smart object. And then that way the pixels still stay. Because you know, like how Instagram, I had to do a lot of testing and like asked friends. I'm like, oh, how do you keep the resolution like high, like on Instagram? So I think I've managed to figure something out that's working for me temporarily, at least for now, and I'm going to show you guys like how I do that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people struggle with that.
Yep.
The resolution. I used to have so much issues with that before.
Yeah. It's like you tend to like lose detail when you I guess shrink it down. And
but I think I found recently, like I think I figured something out, or at least it's working. But then you can always go to Behance and then see the high resolution images. So go to Behance.
I really wish Instagram just gave you the ability to add a link in the description.
Absolutely.
So then you could link directly to your Behance project of that piece.
I know.
That's all I want. Is that too much to ask?
Please. Yes. I wish I had the swipe. I can't wait to like swipe up. Like, you know, not everyone gets that. You know, like you have to get up to like 10K, you know, like all that stuff. But that's okay. That's okay. Soon.
You'll get there.
Yes.
And everybody in chat can help because
guys,
follow Farah. Her link is right in the description.
Yes.
So
all right,
help her get there.
Yeah. So I can swipe up, guys, and I can show you things more efficiently. Then click here, go there. You know. Anyways, okay. So now, what else do I have? What's this? Oh yeah. So I started already. You can see more shadow layers. Because I found that, like, you know, the first stage was to get the body kind of darkened, but then I'm like, okay, I can see a little bit of harsh between the two. So then I went in again. Oh, yes. Okay, so that's green. I'll show you guys. So the two things I do is multiply for the darkened shadows, and then for highlights, again, same process. New layer. Hold on. And in this case, I pick screen. You can do overlay too, but I don't know. I think I prefer screen. And then I just pick sort of the brightest. I feel like you kind of need almost a tad bit lighter. So like once you pick the color, I go ever so slightly brighter.
Yeah.
And always, I mean, a good habit would be to label your layers. Like I'm already getting confused. Usually I tend to like, you know, write shadow and highlight, but today I'm not. Don't pick at me. But yeah.
It's all good. It's all good.
So yeah.
Because you're painting with lighter color. So you do have your highlights and shadows on different layers.
Yes, cool. I do. Yeah, and they always tend to stay around the object, so it's not like it's too far away that I'll get lost. And again, I slowly build up, so you guys might find this like boring to watch, but it's really fun to do. Like if you guys create shadows, I enjoy it. And then there's a lot of like zooming out and like, okay. It's looking like some sunshine. And then this is usually like sort of how I guess, control the direction of shadow as well. Like I know this one's like super harsh, so I'm just gonna kind of keep it in this case, but usually I'm able to control the shadows. But yeah, okay, so here, where's the body? Right, so I think this is what I originally had. So I'll just work with that layer. Yeah, and then I think there's one for the body that I've done earlier. I believe it's this one. Yeah, so you can already see like realistically, you're gonna have a little bit of highlight because it's the back of the elephant. Yeah, and then just keep building to make it look like.
I like it.
Yeah, to get his nails done a bit. Buff it up. I think you'd get a bit more lighting. I don't know. I'm usually like a little careful at first. I'm like, oh, you know, what would make sense? And I find like when I do this method, a lot of my pieces start to get this really softness to it because I'm like laying out soft lights and shadows. Over time, like it's just not as harsh as when I first started when cutting the images. All right, this is a different layer. So let's see.
Do you ever pull that layer out? You do a lot of scrolling in the layers panel. Could you minimize the properties panel or color panel above it?
I could. I don't think I don't really use it. You're right. Thanks. And this happens when you have like so many layers.
You're good. Yeah.
So funny. Let's see what I've done. I think I'm gonna do a lot of the highlights while I chat with you guys because I think I did majority of the shadows. I just want to check. Oh, right, the trunk. So when I did the trunk, you can see there's two different shades. That's what it originally was. So I'm just going to turn that back on. That was, yeah, so you can see now it's actually matching to the current tone. Again, that was with curves, matching it with another image. Okay, what's this? Okay, this is the tusk. It's gonna have some shadow like that. Again, was a separate image and it makes such a difference when you start highlighting and creating shadows. And ties it together. Let's see. Yeah, super subtle. Yeah, I'm cheating by like kind of using the existing shadows for this work. Okay.
You're not
Cheating.
There's no cheating. There's no, yeah, there's no cheating. There's no right or wrong way to do any of this. Like if you achieve the look that you want,
yeah,
congratulations.
Exactly.
Who am I to argue?
All about efficiency. If you can get something done quick, why not? Okay, so I started to create shadows on this one as well. The flamingo.
Really good.
Yeah, it makes such a difference. You can already see.
Gorgeous.
Flat. Yeah. 3D.
Gorgeous.
Okay, so let's go to the little guy. I think I started to add a bit of shadow to the tail. Like that makes a difference, of course. And a little shadow. What's this? The feet. So I'll do actually the highlights on this guy first, since he's here. And in this case, because he's in so many pieces, I'm actually going to group him and do it all at once. I'm just going to group him. And I will label him lemur. And then add a layer. And then now if I were to clip it, it's going to actually do it all at once. So I don't have to go every piece and then add highlights, which is awesome. So back to screen.
I love clipping masks.
You know, it's so funny. Like I started to I actually recognized masking maybe like a year or two ago. I'm like, why did I not know this? I used to be like one of those. I was just creating layers after layers, deleting things, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't have to delete anything. Why?
Yeah. Although I would like to watch a live stream where somebody just works on one layer and just like as a challenge, we're gonna do all this on one layer.
That is amazing. No mistakes. Everything is meant to be.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Maine says how you totally embraced the penguins, didn't you?
I did. See? Yeah. You guys are
They
awesome.
got party hats. They're ready
Yes.
to...
I'm going to show you guys later like how I change colors too. Because I feel like that yellow might be popping too much. And even with my shirt, I'm going to show you guys how I like to. And this is like my laziness. Like if you don't have a red shirt, but you really want a red shirt, I'm going to show you guys how I do that without not owning a red shirt. This is why I love Photoshop. You can do anything without having to actually go out. My favorite. Let's add some highlights here. I feel like I'm talking like, is it Bob Ross?
Yeah.
Add a little here.
Some nice little...
What is it?
shadows.
Happy?
Yeah, happy little trees.
Happy trees.
Just happy little trees in here. Let's go ahead. Let's just put a little something. Just a little light right here.
Love
just
it.
paint in a little light. Just a little...
So peaceful.
Little sunshine on this little meerkat. Is that what it is? Meerkat?
I think it's a lemur.
A lemur. Oh, it's a lemur.
Yeah. I know. Meerkats are... That's the one... Is that what Timon was? From Lion King?
Yeah?
I think so. I'm asking. I think that's a meerkat. This little guy is like a little lemur. There's a couple of different species of them. There's this guy, the ringtail lemur, and then I forget the other one, but that guy's crazy, I think, chilling in Madagascar. Yeah, I used to be really into animals, and I had like 26 encyclopedia books alphabetically given to me as a gift, and I used to read all about that.
Of animals?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's why they're still like in my edits. Find them fun.
That is fun.
So yeah, you can already see like the big difference. Starting to control where light hits and doesn't hit. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do that to the tail. Wait.
It's looking good.
I mean, I can also use it. Hi, who's saying hi?
Hi, me.
Oh, hi.
You know Paul, your co-host. Your
Yes.
host.
The cool one.
No, you're the cool one. But you're where are you from? Like what you live in Toronto?
I live in Toronto.
What's your like nationality or?
I'm from Bangladesh. I don't know if anyone's here from Bangladesh, but hey. Okay. So yeah, I was born there.
Mm-hmm.
And I came here in Toronto when I was like 3.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You might be our first person from Bangladesh on the live stream.
Cool.
So
amazing.
Dealing with firsts today, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Maybe I should come here more often. What do you guys think? Hint, hint.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start highlighting the flamingo because he's here. Yeah, no, it's like it's pretty fun. Like I guess in our culture, in general, the parents tend to, focus you on being a doctor, an engineer, and I mean, I love architecture, so I kind of, balanced it out with engineer slash art architecture, kind of combining that. And then now slowly creeping into this. I've always loved Photoshop, so this is my way of being creative. Super
Very
fun.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. When you do renderings at
Mm-hmm.
work, what software do you guys usually use?
Our office uses Revit to model the buildings, and then uses Enscape, which is kind of like a plugin where it actually generates majority of the renderings for you, which is pretty amazing. In some of previous offices, I've used SketchUp to model, and then use V-Ray. That's also like a plugin with SketchUp to add sort of the materials, the highlights and the shadows. And then I've also used 3D Max briefly, but that's like super high quality, almost like realistic. Like it's almost like you can walk into like the image. What am I looking for? And then yeah, I think now majority of the offices, they really like using Revit over like AutoCAD and such, because AutoCAD tends to be like two-dimensional. And with Revit, it's like simultaneously, as you're building walls in three-dimensional, you can get sections and plans and stuff. So it's a lot more efficient. It's almost like building, if you would, in real life. So it saves time. So if someone, like a client's asking, like, can I get a quick section cut? You're like, okay, and you literally can cut the building. Whereas like with CAD, you're gonna have to draw that from scratch again. So that's like 2D versus Revit, which is like 3D.
Nice.
Yeah, it's super cool, efficient. So we do a lot of those.
Autodesk makes it, huh?
Yes,
Cool.
Autodesk. Yeah. I don't think I need to do too much highlight on this guy because I feel like I'll do a little bit.
Welcome, Daniel.
Hi.
We're happy that you were here. Just dropped in and said hello. Good to have you here.
Nice. Oh, I see a couple of my work buddies here. Hey, lunch and learn.
This is
the perfect time. Yeah, because right now it's lunchtime. Yeah, Mehdi, like, yeah. I see them peeking.
Perfect timing. You're kind of giving a shout out to work, so that's awesome.
Yeah. You guys are awesome.
Is Adelia part of your crew?
No,
Adelia says they're an architect.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like my pieces, I'd love to do a combination of, what did I do? No, that's not what I want. Stop annotating. Okay. It'd be kind of cool to combine sort of my surreal kind of pieces with architecture. So I think I'm going to definitely do some of those as well in the future. I think it's fun. Yeah. Okay, so I think that little guy is good. I'm actually going to add a bit of shadow underneath the flamingo now, because realistically, he would create one on top of the elephant. Okay.
Thank you for joining us as well, Ben. Hopping in, says love seeing your work, which is awesome. You could follow her, of course, below in the description. We're gonna have daily. Yeah,
I'm nice.
We'll do the daily creative challenge like reviews in about 40 minutes, and so do that. So then just click on the challenge tab and ask any questions you want.
I think after creating this shadow, I'm going to show you guys how I change colors to like my outfit and stuff. That'll be fun. That's a different thing I like to play with around as well.
Ooh, that's a good question, Abraham. Is reducing opacity better than a reduction in brush flow? So there's opacity and then there's flow. But this is tricky. Like,
I think you can probably better explain the two.
Yeah, I could do that really fast. Let me just like switch over.
Yeah.
Basically, with opacity, so my flow is always down, but if I have opacity at 50%, it's always going to paint at 50% as I scrub over. If I change this to flow Flow means it's gonna, even though I'm painting at say 15%, it's gonna slowly build up to 100%. Right? So that's the difference. Opacity will never go past that percentage. Flow obviously builds up the flow and does it more gradually the lower that number is.
Does that affect based on like pen pressure if someone's using like a pen or anything, or like how does that actually change?
I think it depends on your. It just just by it
The more
builds up.
time?
Yes, it's just like as you click, it just like builds up more and more and more.
And then
So
when you
that's how
let
it
go, then it will start again from the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Start
so
again
cool.
from the build. Now you can, if you did have opacity 50%, like it happens each time. So I could still have this at 30%. Like it'll build up to 30%, and then I can put another 30% on top of it, and then another 30%, and eventually get that to 100. But it means multiple clicks.
That's very cool. I actually didn't know that it gradually did that.
Yeah, it's one of those tricky things. Is like that's why I'm glad you guys are here. Like ask these questions because it's kind of hard to tell the difference.
Totally. Like I think like the only way to know really is just to try it out and see like what it does and see what works for you too.
Yeah, you're not really gonna break anything. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's hard to break stuff. There's always an undo.
Always, exactly. What did I do? Did I actually?
Oh yes, and blending modes. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Because to make things even more complex, you could paint with a brush, and the brush has a blending mode.
Oh yeah.
While your layer has a different blending mode.
There's so many options.
If you ever are painting and you don't see anything happening, check the blend mode of your brush in
Right
the
here,
options
right?
bar. Yeah.
There's been times where it just sat in clear and I'm like, what's going on? And then I realize like nothing's happening. And I realize why.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna eyeball this for now, but you guys get the idea. Okay, I shall show you how I change my shirt. That's another thing I like to do. Where am I? So, again, all of these are pretty much the same concept. They all end up being very similar. A new layer, masking. So I have to find myself. Actually, why am I doing this? Auto select. I'm lazy. There I am. Okay. So with me, I have it turned off, but I'll show you. I go to hue and saturation, clip myself in, and in this case, you know, you can see like everything is changing. I have different options for shirts. And then what I tend to do is I just pick a color that's the complete opposite, and then I actually go and invert it first. I think it's just Control I. Go in the mask convert. So now it's disappeared, but then I kind of go back in and brush the negative. In this case, I'll go all the way up to 100% brush. There you go. And that's kind of how I change the shirt color.
That's nice because like even once this is done, if you want to change the color again, you just adjust it.
Options are like endless, exactly. And then what I usually do is I just kind of pick a color and then just kind of zoom out and see like, okay, what actually looks good overall with my image. It's not necessarily about like a color preference for me. It's just more like, okay, what looks nice as a whole. So when I do that, I'm going to show you guys. I think I had already done one. I thought this color was kind of cool since everybody's sort of like this warmish, reddish orange tone. And my pants were kind of maroon. So I'm like, okay. Again, like there's like so many options. So that's how I tend to color my clothes all the time. Yeah, so I just kind of desaturate a bit, but you can always get it as bright as you like. Change whatever color you like. I think I'm just going to stick to soft sort of reddish tone for now. And I'm going to do the same thing with the hats. And I shall do it with you guys. And you guys can suggest, if you like, what color the yellow should be. Because I find like the yellows popping out too much. I'll do the same thing again.
Yeah. Go do it. You want to color recommendations?
Sure, if anyone has any.
Yeah, if you guys have any, feel free.
Don't go crazy on me though, because if it's too wild, I might not do it.
Oh, wow.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're good. Morton is asking about color. What about color range? You might have to like be a little bit more specific there. Sure. If you can, tell us an example of what you
mean,
how you'd want to change the color range.
There's like so many ways. There's also even like color balance and stuff to like overall change it, kind of like the mood. There's like so many ways. I don't know to clarify exactly what you mean. So I think the yellow I'm gonna switch up. So for now I'm just picking a random color and then I'll test out to see what works. Okay, I think that, again, you won't really see it. Okay, so let's take out that.
It's fun.
Okay, so let's see what colors we can get out of this. That kind of matches. And this is literally what I do. Like once I mask it out, I sit and I zoom out. I'm like, what actually looks good? I don't want it to pop out too much either. Who knows? Ooh. I feel like I'm picking everything that's like almost like a warm tone. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I don't mind if it pops. Like it's so little that, I don't think it could pop out too much.
Okay.
I like the red. I'm just looking at it on different screens.
Yeah. Okay. So red is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Why not?
The red pops out.
Should they both be red? I can also do another color. Let's see whatever works. Same thing. I almost think something like that's kind of cute, but okay. Control I. Paint it again. Yeah, you can even like create patterns. So cool.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody mentioned painting in stripes or a design, so yeah, that works.
That's cute. Yeah.
Wade says the red and oranges look good.
Yes, I will.
So, yeah.
Red and orange. Okay, so maybe like an orange tone. Why not?
Looking good.
Okay.
And you have about 30 minutes. This is looking pretty good. I'm trying to I know you're still painting, but I guess we'll get to a point where
yeah, I'm gonna take you guys to a lot of it is just now adding a bit of highlights and such. I can speed it up. Let me see if I think I have majority.
Oh, you're doing fine. You probably, depends on what you want to do. But, in 30 minutes,
I have 30 minutes.
We have an hour left, and we need
a lot of time.
At least 20 minutes for.
Of course.
So yeah.
No, I have lots of time to show you guys everything. I'm just gonna then really quickly, if anything, I'm just gonna quickly add some highlights and shadows to the ladder because I did not do that, and I think then I can show you guys how I finish stuff up and whatnot. I know I'm missing a lot of highlights and stuff, but let's see. Let's do the ladder. So what's everyone up to in the chat?
Yeah, what are you guys up to?
Yes.
Tell us. How are you guys doing?
Plans. What are you guys all doing?
I am doing nothing. I'm just doing absolutely nothing.
Nothing is amazing.
I'm trying to think. I don't think.
Nothing.
I'm going to go see a Frida Kahlo exhibit on Sunday. Ooh. That's right. So that'll be cool.
Oh, very cool.
But yes, typically doing nothing is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing nothing.
Same here. Nothing is awesome.
Farah, that's your plan too? No big plans, which is nice.
No, actually, I might see my mom. She lives a bit far, so once in a while, it's nice to see her and my sister and do more like family chills this weekend.
Yeah, because you guys don't have Thanksgiving next week.
Oh, we already had ours. Yeah.
What is yours called?
Same thing.
Thanksgiving. Oh,
Yeah. It's not. I don't know why the dates are different though. But I want to know.
different countries.
Why did they? That is strange though. Why choose?
It's like it's so close; it might as well be the same days.
Should have been.
But
Seriously though.
Michelle's going to a Zoom comedy show on Saturday. That'll be really good,
wow.
or maybe like really awkward.
That's kind of fun. I've never. Well, if they can see you, you kind of have to laugh, right? You're not.
That's the hard part about all this.
Like, they get to see your face. Oh, I'm so critical with comedy. I'm terrible. My husband loves comedy, but I'm like watching stuff. I'm like, this is not really funny. Like, okay, you're not really fun to watch with. Just go away. That's usually how I am. It's bad.
Funny.
The worst. I'm the worst. I have like a very like specific sense of humor. I really like dark humor, so yeah. Not all comedians work for me. But I like to be funny. That's the odd thing. I like to be funny.
Yeah.
Make jokes and stuff and hang with my friends and laugh, but then when someone's trying to make me laugh, I don't know.
You just get like really, really particular.
Very critical, yes. I'm like, so hard.
So I take it you don't like dad jokes.
Do you have one?
I always have dad jokes.
It depends. Okay, let's go. Let's hear one.
Like, why was it when I was a kid, going to the gas station, you could get air for free for your tires, but now it's like $1.25. Now, why is that?
I don't know.
I'm
actually worried that because
inflation.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh wow is right.
That's good, but see, like it's awkward. I don't know how to laugh. It's like it's funny.
I think we need to get you to laugh. I'm sure you do.
Guys, give me some jokes over here. Paul's gonna read them out. Oh my god.
Look out.
Yeah.
Looks
Actually,
like
that's really good, but it's also so cheesy.
Yeah, so
My
cheesy.
husband loves cheesy jokes. That one right there, you just said he would.
Some of them definitely make you groan. Like that was so stupid. I don't think that one was
so bad. No, that was like.
Some are so dumb. It's like, geez, that's like a kid's joke. You know, like you open up those joke books for kids, they're so dumb. But anyway. Yeah, welcome everybody. Good to have you here. Just
if anyone just came in like midway, us just laughing about randomness, they're like, what's going on?
Jonathan Santos, good to have you here. It's in class right now, but also watching us, which is awesome.
Good. Don't pay attention to class, pay attention to us.
Reverb Mike saw the Frida Kahlo thing in Denver, which is where I live. So yeah, I'm going to the same place, Mike.
You guys maybe bump into each other.
Hopefully not, because that's not allowed. But yes.
Literally, yeah. That's funny.
Kyle, no complaints. Thanksgiving is next week. Where is the year gone? I think most people are like, thank goodness
that this year is
almost over. Yeah.
It is crazy though, like how it's already November. It's crazy. Is anyone putting trees up yet? I know some people have already started to. I'm not that really. I kind of wait till December.
I might do it. Because we're not, Thanksgiving's kind of up in the air, but might do that this
right
weekend.
And then right after that. That's true. You guys have Thanksgiving, and then I think a lot of you guys start prepping for
Yeah,
The
it's usually the
holiday.
weekend after is when
That
everybody
makes
starts
sense.
putting up
Yeah.
Christmas stuff.
Keep forgetting ours. Well, we look forward to Black Friday. I guess this year it doesn't really matter because anyone can shop online.
Be
Anytime.
some Black Friday sales next weekend and
Oh yeah.
Cyber Monday the following
Oh yeah.
Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good question. Is there going to be Adobe Live next week?
Oh.
Let me just check the schedule.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
No streaming next week, so no. In 2 weeks, we'll be back.
Nice.
Everybody's taking that time off.
Yeah, everyone just chill. All right, so I'm just adding a little bit more shadow. Feel like the ladder was a little flat. Turtle's gonna give off a bit of shadow. Yeah, starting to look real-ish. Same thing here under the elephant. Actually, I'm gonna decrease this. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Is Santa immune to COVID? I don't know. I assume yes. Yeah, he's got that
Yes.
Christmas magic.
Well, he's technically not seeing anybody. As long as he
That's
doesn't
true.
touch anything, right? It has his
Yeah.
gloves on, which he usually does.
Yeah.
Technically, he should be well protected.
Yeah. Marsha, yeah, there are no master classes tomorrow. There will be some live streams, but internally at Adobe we have tomorrow off.
Cool.
So
Yeah, that's because you guys have started to do that recently, right? It's a cool thing to do.
yeah.
Get a bit of break. Right. So, didn't get to show you guys earlier. I did a bit of shadow on myself. Yep. I'm gonna actually add a bit of quick highlights on my shirt and myself, actually. Yeah.
Thank you, Wade, for answering. Awesome.
Santa has a full hazmat suit. Yes.
What you don't know, Santa actually is a very slim gentleman. It's just that he actually keeps a hazmat suit underneath his. What you're seeing there is a hazmat suit that just makes him look a little more chubby than he actually is.
Yes. So it looks like he's actually, working and chilling at home all year. Gotta look the part.
For sure.
Okay, so just
Looking good.
tad bit of highlight.
I like
I
that
mean, I can go
red.
on like forever doing this. This is just fun. But I'm just showing you guys this is sort of my process. A little bit of highlights from above. I don't think too much. Who else is missing some highlights? I'm gonna put a little bit on the line before I switch around. How are we with time? Okay, cool. Let's go to the line.
I like it. Work it.
Work it.
Work it.
Okay.
Yeah, that is looking good.
Yeah. Just gonna add a little brightness. I find like it's like almost like putting makeup on these guys.
Yeah.
When you start contouring. Let's see. Where's my page? What am I doing? This is my screen page.
That's right, Wade. Santa doesn't have his beard is really just a very fuzzy face mask. That's all. Do you print your artwork, Farah?
I have in the past. I've printed some of my work, and if you guys are like super interested, I can definitely do that again. I think I find it also like pretty easy to just, when someone wants to buy my work, give them a digital copy. That way, they have kind of control of the size and the type of material they like. They usually tend to give a really high quality resolution.
What size is this at now? What is
I think right now it's in pixels, but I
can you
think
go
you can almost,
to
I mean,
can you
it's at like 5,000.
can you go to go to image
Yeah, let's
and then
check.
image size?
I tend to go pretty high. Like my resolution, I go to like 300, like yeah, 280
Okay,
in this case. Yeah. I
cool.
think a lot of it is fitted more towards Instagram right now. But yeah, if someone's ever interested, I think it should be big enough for almost like 24 by 36. I'd have to do a couple more tests with the new pieces, but yeah, I would totally do prints if they wanted me to, and I can absolutely just send them the file too. I'm open.
Can you just send me the file and I can put my name on it and post it
Yeah,
everywhere?
go for it. Yeah,
Just kidding. No.
yeah, tag me.
No, I'm like, look what I made. Just joking.
Whoa. I kind
That's
of
the
have my
scary
name
part.
under it, but I mean, you know, do have it watermarked. I'll find you.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, what? Okay, so you know, I can go on forever. I would probably create harsher sort of sunshine, but these guys have like fuzzy fur, and I don't wanna. There's like different brushes I have to add like texture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah. Let's see.
Have you ever used color lookup tables?
I have.
Oh,
I have.
cool.
They're pretty cool. I do like them. And I think those tend to be kind of fun for like a finished look. I find like what I usually do is take it down to almost like 10% and then give it like an overall sort of feel. I don't know if, is this like someone from the chat?
No, it's just
Or-
just throwing it out there. That was
Oh
just
yeah,
me.
okay. Wondering if anyone else has used color look. I think it's cool.
Yeah, it is kind of fun just to like, yeah, it's almost like Instagram filters is what it feels like to me.
I would
just
yeah,
to-
I would definitely check that at the very end.
Yeah, and you just kind of want to like try something new with the colors just to see, you know, what
Yeah.
it looks like.
You guys want to see what? Let's try it actually. So, if I was to flatten this out, I have a little shortcut for it on my Wacom. So now it's flattened. Let's see some fun color lookup. Yeah, these are super cool. I think I'm going to zoom in a bit. I guess I
Yeah.
should be able to. Yeah. Yeah, these are also like a great way if you had like I'll reduce it down to maybe. That's
That
kind
does
of
look
cool. That's
pretty
really
good.
cartoony. That's actually very similar to what I've actually created as a preset for my Lightroom. It's a little bit like vibrant. It pops out. These are like super cool. I do use it sometimes. Yeah, like different effects and different moods. I think that's what it does.
Yeah.
Do you ever use it like as like a separate layer? You kind of finish it off at the end. That's cool.
You know, I think it's fun to do when anytime you're doing something kind of surreal, you can get into the sunsets and the horror, the bleak
totally.
and all those, and try to blend those together just to see what happens. That looks good too. I really like the. Was that the sunset one you had for a split
I think
second?
I had like sunset. I was just scrolling one by one. Yeah, there's
Okay.
some really, really cool ones. Okay, I'm gonna change the leg color. I realize these are two different hippos. So first I'll actually see if, no, actually in this case, I'm gonna use color balance. I haven't used that. I use it often actually. I'm gonna see what this does. Yeah, like it's automatic. Like you can already see like the yellowness I can take away and start matching.
Somebody asked there's the Luminaire plugin. I've never used the Luminaire plugin in Photoshop.
Oh no, I haven't either. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. I guess it's kind of like, yeah, it does some overall photo editing. It's kind of like a mini version of, I don't know. It doesn't do anything Photoshop can't do.
Okay,
but
it's
it's
just
kind of
because.
sorted more into presets is how I
Oh yeah.
feel.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
A lot like Lightroom, seems similar
Mhm.
to Lightroom, just so you know.
Mhm.
But
Okay. Very cool. Okay. So I'm just gonna quickly take away a little bit of that oranginess and match it. Like there's so many ways of like matching. Like there's a curve adjustments. I kind of use a little bit of everything. And I will maybe use a bit of curves to darken it maybe. Yeah. Looking a little bit more matchy. Same thing here. Curves. There you
yeah,
go.
there's
Mm-hmm.
Cartier Gates. Yeah, there's neural. We could try the neural filters as another way
Oh
to.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna change the look drastically.
The neural filters?
Yeah. I mean, I assume the one that they're talking
Oh,
about
is
is
it
the
the
style.
stylus? Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's super comic-y if anything. Like it's fun. It's gonna be an entire different look for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely would love to try that. You know what I actually tried for fun? Maybe this is something you guys can look into. You know the one that's like changing your face. I mean, like right now it's only detecting human face. So I was like, let's try this on a lion. Will it happen? No, you know. Maybe one day could work for animals too.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty humorous, actually. Putting some teeth on that. Human teeth. I tried. It didn't detect any, but
Yeah.
I really like that feature. It's pretty fun.
It'll work on statues.
Oh,
I've
really?
discovered. So any sort of face shapes.
Oh, that's
But you
super
can
cool.
sort of rotate a statue's, head, for instance.
Oh,
It's kind of
wow.
cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you ever try putting some smiles on, like a nice set of dentures on that or anything?
That would be
I wonder if
good.
that would work.
Yeah.
Serious.
It will work for statues. I've done
Wow,
it
that's
before.
actually
I haven't cranked it up to see if it will show teeth. But
that's really cool, actually. No, I love that feature. Like how, like we were talking about it yesterday. It's like almost putting our work out because the computer's just generating it for us. We don't have to do it manually anymore. It's just doing it for us. It's cool. Okay, I'm just gonna add a very quickly.
Photoshop's gonna put us all out of a job.
I know. Exactly. I'm just gonna add a little bit of shadow. I know I would put more time to it. Oh, I noticed I didn't put a shadow here, but I'll tweak it later and you guys will be able to see the final product. But I want to show you guys more of like the way my process is. Yeah. Cool.
Do your thing. Everybody just in chat's talking about different plugins and different things. So
Nice.
that's cool.
Suggesting each other stuff. That's cool. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to show you guys how I finish this soon. Very soon. I kind of think it's cool.
Yeah, no problem.
I think there's something I do that's a little cool, and maybe some of you guys can do it too. I'll show you guys shortly. Sort of how I tie in the entire image.
I think one technique that I found kind of helpful, if something ever looks off, like I've seen, and Aaron Nace has shown this, Flern, the Photoshop Learn channel, he'll sometimes throw a black and white adjustment layer over everything. So just take out the color and make sure all your blacks are even and like there's nothing that's too bright. Kind of
yeah, that's really cool. Yeah.
So
that's actually a great tip. If you
because
want.
I'm looking at the like propeller, I don't know.
Yeah, I
that
haven't
was
even
probably
got
the
a chance to touch
darkest
the
thing.
propeller.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna actually change it to very excellent point. Yeah, I haven't even gotten a chance to do it, but you're right. Like that would probably help tie in all the blacks and all the whites. That's kind of what I do with the curves. If I was to save it from what I had before, Okay, so it's actually not so bad. Yeah, it's so subtle because I think there was something that
Yeah.
I picked up on that was super dark. Okay, and then let's see the white. What happens? I mean, there's always like that mid-tone of that gray as well, but I don't use it that often. Let's try this white. Actually been pretty, yeah, super, super, super subtle, but
So, yeah,
but
Daniel.
it definitely needs some highlights. Yes, Daniel?
Yeah, it's good to go through that. I know I was asking about like what type of paper do you print your stuff on? I don't print my stuff.
Yeah.
My answer would be white paper.
There's like textured papers too.
So-
Like I used to go a little bit thicker, but I'm not, yeah, don't quote me on specific types. I would probably go in and like test it out physically myself, like touching it and stuff. I did that in the beginning. But yeah, I like it when it's a little bit almost like in the cardstock thickness rather than super like magazine style or
Glossy.
glossy. I prefer matte. The matte,
Nice.
sort of slightly textured. But again, I would have to go back. It's been a while. Like I would totally check it out again with this style of work that I do, because before it was almost like black and whites, architectural kind of. I'll pull those out again on Instagram and show you guys. Yeah, okay. Let me see what else. I know I didn't even touch the little hippo guy, but I will finish it up after and show you guys. But again, same concept. I'm gonna add the shadow.
Do you happen to know Vanessa Rivera? Or gosh, what is she? Life of Avax.
Yes, she's amazing.
Yeah,
Super
you two are you two can be friends. You two are
We
similar.
should be totally friends.
You know,
She's incredible. Yeah, I love
and
her.
she hasn't been doing this that long either, by the way. Like she's fairly new, and the next thing you know, she's like on the splash screen in Photoshop.
I know. I'm like, that's incredible. Like when I saw that, I was like, yeah. No, she's super talented. Like, yeah, if you just keep practicing and just kind of learn.
And just put in the hours. I feel like she works. We had her for Adobe Live, and she's just. This is when we're actually in person.
Yeah.
But you could tell, like between her and her husband, she was just like they would work their butt off. So I'm proud of them.
Incredible. And like it paid off though. Like good for her. And like she's super talented. And I've actually picked up a lot of her tips as well. So yeah, I think it's great. Hold on, I don't know. No, she's super cool. Hook us up.
Yeah.
Be friends.
Sure.
Don't listen to me. I'm just random. I'm gonna add a new layer. Just add a quick shadow under the linear.
And maybe so once you tighten this up, we can maybe switch to, if you want to switch to Lightroom.
I do, yeah.
We can.
Let me show you guys then right now how I finish it off on Photoshop, and I'll take it to Lightroom.
Cool.
Okay, so usually, like, let's just say I was completely satisfied with editing. My little trick that I like, and sometimes I'm not sure if some other artists notice this, but for example, like when you zoom in and see this elephant, like not all animals are going to have the same resolution, or like same images will have the same resolution. Sometimes you can tell like this one's a little bit blurred out, and then this is a lot sharper. My own picture has like a different like resolution than the lion, or even here you can see like the giraffe's a little softer than the sharpness of the lion. So my little trick, and it works for me, and it also gives like this texture look. What I tend to do is flatten. I don't flatten, but I create a visible layer like of everything that's below. And actually, you know what? I will save this just in case.
Yeah, save it.
I realized I didn't save it this entire time. Right. So okay, it's saved. And so I usually just, and this is for getting it ready for Instagram. I actually once I've saved it, I grab everything and I actually delete it because I don't need all the layers. And maybe it doesn't work, but in my head, I feel like, oh, taking all those layers out, it makes the file smaller. I think it does. So then what I do is I go to filter and I go to blur gallery and I like to go to field blur.
Okay.
And I actually take it all the way to like maybe 1%. I think you need like 1 for it to work. Whoa, excuse you. Okay, and then I actually like increase the grain here. So usually it's like roughly at 25%. So you can see like right away the sky, the highlight, right? So now it looks like there's like a consistency, like it almost becomes like a print.
Yeah.
So if you zoom in, I really like this effect. So now, even though the resolution, it kind of matches, like it becomes like a postcard like texture. And I tend to do this for all of my pieces. So it's, you can control the different grain. Like obviously you can go even sharper if you really wanted to. I usually take like 25, like
very good. I've never thought of doing this.
Yeah,
totally,
it's kind of like
totally works.
Yeah, and then so click OK. So obviously when you zoom out, you're not going to really see that on Instagram, but if you were to ever print this or like high quality, now it almost has this vintagey sort of, you can see like everything ties in together. Now all the images look like it's been in one photo. So I do that, and then I right click and I just convert it to smart object. So I think this was like an advice from like a friend of mine. So I do this all the time. Like I actually convert it to a smart object before I save it as a JPEG.
Yes, save it as something else. I don't want you to lose all your layers. It's scaring me.
Oh no, I have like a ton of these saved in a corner somewhere just in case. But yeah, so then I do save as. Yeah, so that's like my file. And in this case, I go to JPEG. And when I click save, do I have one already there? Yes, I do. That's okay. Yes. And usually I think if you want to print it, like physically print it, like a high quality is good. But for Instagram, I find I actually take it down to like roughly around like, 8, 9, when it's like, it hits around like the 2 megabytes, like 3 megabytes. I feel like it doesn't compress my work so much. Like it actually keeps the quality. Like when I keep it at like 8, like I'm always like, ooh, I'm like taking down the quality, but it actually keeps it. So I'll click OK. So now it's like a JPEG. Now I would take it to Lightroom. So you tell me, do you want to check out like what everyone's been up to, or do you want me to like hop onto Lightroom now? It's totally up to you.
Yeah, we'll switch to my screen real fast to give you a chance to switch to Lightroom, and then we'll come back. And so I am off your screen. You can connect what you need to. I'll just show you guys a quick little tip, kind of what I tend to do is like, since this piece is kind of done for me and I want to post this to Instagram, this is how I get all of mine to onto my device. Is right up here, this little share button. You can airdrop it if you're on a Mac. And it might be different on PC. Well, so it sends it to my iPhone. Right, there it is, iPhone. Selecting that. Click done. Moving this over. Oh, and there it is. Here's my iPhone. And that's how I just quickly see what it looks like in more of a form factor that you want other people to see it in. So it's like, I just want to see it on my phone.
I'm just transferring the file over. See, this is why I need an Apple drop.
The texture you added.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And again, ties it all. Your shadows are going to be very smooth, but you gave everything a grain and it ties everything together.
You guys want Lightroom and examples of previous pictures. So whenever I finish something on Photoshop, like you can like 1 or 2 I tend to use, like you can tell the difference in terms of the colors I've set. There's always like a particular green that I like, or a particular blue. So the handy thing with mobile is you're able to kind of get this consistency by saving a preset you like. And again, like I did it through like practice and stuff that I've liked. So this is like a before when I finished it in Photoshop. once I took it out, I've had like I've set the reds like more vibrant. And so it always picks up. It's consistent. Like when I take it to my Instagram, you can see the colors here. So why don't I pick out this guy that I just created? And yeah, like the quality is like really good. Having a preset done once you're happy with it. So this is usually the one I use. And then I slightly, and here you can adjust the different shades. And this is so that it looks a little more realistic. I'm gonna take it down more. But majority of my colors I tend to keep. It's usually the blues and the greens I play around with a lot. But let's see. I'm not oranges. I've kind of hinted it out. I prefer a little bit more on the reddish tone. My yellows. It's super starts to make it feel like it's a cohesive piece.
Yeah, I like it. I like those. I can definitely tell the difference.
Really what I do once I'm done, actually green effect from Photoshop tends to get too heavy when before, after, just get, and then I'm going to try
with like a little bit of, just so you know what's going, it's running choppy basically.
So you guys can actually see the difference.
Yeah, you can, to answer your question, Maine, you can save your preset resolution, your streaming resolution down to 24p like Jan Erik says, and all of that. So you want me to switch back to your screen there, Farah?
1 second.
Totally up to you. No pressure. You know.
You can jump back actually now. 1 second.
Sorry about the buffering, everybody. You know the interwebs.
Can you guys see now? Is everything good?
It's gonna kind of looks like it's bouncing all over the place, but we'll just continue on because there's nothing we can do about it. No, the internets. So just continue. But yeah, I'm actually showing your screen now.
Is it choppy though? My screen? Can you guys actually see it?
Yeah. The recording is going to be fine. So that's the big thing.
Okay. So this is sort of the finished product, but you can see with Lightroom, I do like the way it looks. So, I mean, I didn't adjust my greens here, but I usually tend to. But from that to the Photoshop, it just looks clean, like it's just a bit more vibrant. I change a little bit of the tone, and then I take it to my Instagram. I can show you guys. So if you notice, like a lot of the blues, I tend to keep it around the same consistency, and that's like all like taken through like Lightroom Mobile. Same thing with like the reds. I like this overall consistency going in color, even though like their artwork is completely different. But I personally appreciate it's like, okay, they're thinking about their feed as well as like their own internal like individual pieces. So yeah, so that's sort of how I work. And I don't know if you guys have any questions. That's me and my work. So
I love it. And I'm noticing the color grading that has happened.
Absolutely.
So looks good.
There's like a very subtle like grain after I'm done with Photoshop, and then I take it to Instagram or like any other platform.
Yeah. Very cool. And actually color grading is what we're doing for the Daily Creative Challenge as well.
Let's check it out.
So we'll just go ahead and switch screens really fast. Kind of talk about that. Thanks for, it looks like the buffering should be cleared up now, but you know, interwebs, things might change.
Blame my phone. It might have been that transition.
I don't think it's you at all. It's actually, I could see that it's clearly on my end, just so you know. So I'll apologize, but hey, what are you going to do? You have the fastest internet in the world and you still have buffering. But right in here, here's the challenge tab. This is what we'll review now. This is from earlier, the Daily Creative Challenge. Apply beautiful color gradients to your photos using the new color grading tool in Lightroom. So you can get the starter file. I already got the starter file right here. Okay, so it's adding color grading to this. And you could do that, of course. Just take that, open up Lightroom, and then import the file and start playing with it. So that's what we're kind of expecting everyone to do right in here. So yeah, so that's all. That's the original, just so we can kind of compare it to the original. let's jump into this now. And thank you so much, Farah. And thank you, everybody, for hanging in with us, too, even during some bumpy internet issues. Hey, such is life. No big deal. Here we are. Again, creative challenge we just talked about. We'll go into the current challenge, and we could take a look at all the lovely color grading that's happening. For instance, this one from Phil. Bam! How's that for color grading? Wow, it's like... feels like, I don't know, it's a sunny day in Tuscany or something, you know, or just a sunny day somewhere. Kind of a
place I would love to be in right now.
Yeah, totally. Outside riding a motorcycle. She does have a helmet. It's just not shown here, just for everybody who's concerned.
That's actually really amazing from looking at the original image and to see like how the colors are taken, added onto. Yeah.
You know, this is a great image to do a cutout, do a select subject cutout and do her hair. That would just be that's a fun image for that as well. Ooh, I like Gerard's as well. Look at Gerard's. This is feels more city with a steel blue.
That urban steel.
Yeah.
I like it.
Very much in it. It still has the pop of like the warm tones. I think good images, if it's a good image, I think it should have a balance of warm and cool tones.
Absolutely. That almost looks like it could be from like a movie scene, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true. Like big difference with this one and this one does feel very much. Movie tones, they get very very teal and pink. Yes. It's like everything is teal. It's crazy. So here's the original. I like this GIF, by the way. Adjusted. Final color grading.
Wow. What a difference.
Yeah.
It completely changes the mood.
For sure. I'm into it. I think at this stage, this is where everybody's like asking their designer friends, which one do you like? Do you like this one or this one? Or this one or this one?
Wow.
But good job on the final color grading of that last one, I feel like. It's almost like the color becomes the hero in this scenario, right?
That's so true.
It's like color becomes like the main, cast member, if you will. Okay, so we have.
Is that the original?
I feel like this one looks more color graded.
Yes.
Which.
Oh yeah, I think it is.
Right. This one from
creating like this warm tone. This little hue of like purplish pink. It's cool.
Interesting what we have going on like right here. This little little electric line. I'll have to look at that. But yeah, it's cool.
Totally.
This would be a fun one to even add. I know it was all about color grading, but like adding like more texture like you were doing in detail will really make this one look pretty fun. But great job. Again, I don't know which is which.
Maybe that's the good thing.
Oh, original photo taken. So yeah, we are correct. This is the original photo taken. Cool.
Yeah.
Abdullah. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Oops. Sorry.
Oh, I see. Like the yellowish tone has kind of changed.
Yeah, like
gradient layer. That's cool. I like it. I can almost see like this. Yeah, ombre. Like you can see it like in the gradient layer, like this greenish to purple. Yeah, exactly. Very cool.
Yeah, I like that. Well done. Good stuff. To ants, original, version 1, version 2. Cool.
Ooh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's like almost taking away that secondary color that you have in the back for version 1, and then version 2, it's more about the focal point. Like my eyes go to the front.
Yeah, I agree. Like this maybe, I actually like maybe a little bit more like green in here, but this is almost too strong right there. So that's why this is nice.
I like it. Cute ornament.
Very nice. These are the colorized. Ooh, let's look at this colorization version from Dorina. That's
Wow.
great.
So was the original
The
black and white?
Yeah,
Wow, that's great.
good job.
A lot of
I
cut.
would say the one area where like I'm kind of losing it is right over here. I feel like it's all one color of wood,
Yeah.
and if there was more variation of browns and grays in here,
Mhm.
it would be sold. The rest looks fantastic.
It's crazy you picked up on that detail. I think I would have noticed
Yeah,
it
it's
later.
like this one is almost a little more realistic, but like
Yeah.
yeah, just because
Cool.
colorization, like if
Yeah.
you're applying one color to the overall thing, you know, is it really that way? Gradients in Lightroom.
Oh
I
wow.
don't know what the original one is, but this kid is super cute. You win, child. You get whatever you want because you're so cute. I'd be like, whatever you want, kid.
Okay.
Is that how you are with your son? You're
Um,
so adorable.
half and half. I think I'm the mean mom a little bit though. He's so cute, but I'm also like, no, like someone's gotta tell him or he's gonna be spoiled.
Oh, so
I,
you're yeah, okay. You play the bad cop.
I do. And then it's funny, then when John's like super nice, I'm mean, and then when he's kind of trying to, put some discipline,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, just let him, So I'm sure Heston's so confused.
Yeah, you two switching, changing roles on him. Great
Ooh,
stuff, everybody. I think this is really fun. Fun
yeah,
seeing all these challenges.
yeah.
So well done with colorization as well. So these were
Sweet.
probably reviewed earlier, by the way, because it was at 10:30. But hats off to Pilar and Bimoncello and James and Dorina. Everybody's having a lot of fun. Ooh, one more that just came in.
Mm.
Majesty's
Oh yeah,
starter image and then the color gradient.
I like it. I can see
Yeah,
the vibrancy.
yeah. And I think he or she could have gone overboard with this.
Hmm.
I think I would go more subtle, like, make the colors pop that are there, but you don't need to shift the whole scene to make it like some of the motorcycle images were. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, yep.
Anyway,
I like it.
good stuff, everybody. We did so well. But awesome. Keep them coming. We'll keep an eye on it, but we really only have 10 minutes left
Sweet.
anyway. Farah, I don't know if you could like copy that image and bring it into Photoshop and put it on top of your original.
Oh
Is
yeah,
that a
let's
thing
do
that you
that.
can do?
Yes, I can.
Just so we
Great
can, I
idea.
don't know, just like split it somehow. And
Yeah, let me open it with Photoshop. Okay, so let me duplicate it over. You guys see my screen now? Yeah. Duplicate layer. I'm hoping it'll be exactly the same. So let's go back. So, all right. There you go. So this is where it was in Photoshop. And then once I did my preset magic on Lightroom Mobile, it's like that. It's
yeah,
super subtle, but yeah.
yeah, I noticed like kind of I guess more depth in the clouds. Is that what I'm
Yeah.
seeing? Or
I think
something
the way
going on in
I
there.
think the way I'd set it up, yeah, like
Oh.
the whites tend to get this depth. Yeah, like see the original, it's just super flat, but
Mm-hmm.
it's adjustments like, and again over time, like looking at a bunch of tutorials, there's a ton like online with like how to create your own presets, and those were super helpful. So like eventually like I figured out what I liked on my feed in terms of colors and saved it, and then over time this is sort of where I've come in, and I've noticed like also like the shadows are really nice too. It, especially with such a small image on Instagram, you kind of want that pop too. So there's a lot of like highlights and lowlights that I find like with Photoshop, the way I edit, I forget, and the preset on like Lightroom Mobile picks up those colors that I've already set for it. So like yeah,
Yeah.
even like you were saying, like the water, I could take like forever like creating shadows and stuff on Photoshop, but with one button, I'm getting these really nice like darks and lights pop in.
Yeah.
I like it.
Into it. It's looking
Yeah.
fantastic.
I'm gonna adjust a couple of more stuff, like and then when I do post it, if you guys follow me, you guys can see the final look, and obviously the whole
Yeah.
tutorial's on Behance and Adobe Live, so you guys can always check it out how I did this. And I'm actually gonna like probably post this with like detailed elements and like the Adobe stock images that I've grabbed for this particular piece on my Behance page. So you guys can also find them on Adobe stock images too and use
Very
them.
cool. Yeah, and done, within 2 days. So
Yeah, guys, you better finish it in 2 days.
but it's cool. Like I think you got a lot done for I don't know if who knows what other people are doing or other streamers or whatever, but I feel like you got a lot done within 2 days to make
You know what though? Like I find a lot of it, it's not just me. I would give a lot of credit to like Photoshop and all the like, new features, because I'm sure like maybe even like a year ago or two, like some of like the ways like, we clean up things now, like the object selective tool, and that literally takes like 1 second to just clean up something. So that definitely makes a big difference. And I would absolutely say one of my favorites is the refine brush. Like, when you're like around hair and like, and that also makes like a big difference with like just overall getting like a piece to look like it's part of an overall image. Like even with my hair, you saw like it cleaned it up so nicely. And same thing with like the lion's fur, with a couple of like, brushes that already exist on Photoshop. It's like, it feels like it's always been there. And it doesn't look like it's like a cut and paste, which I tend to notice. And it's like, just putting a little bit more time, like, you can get this really nice cohesive look. So
yeah, that is awesome. And I think it does work out like super well.
Yeah.
A little bit about the select subject, just like FYI, and we're kind of coming down to the last couple minutes.
Do that. Oh yeah.
I thought I'd do it on this image. So I just have this background. So I want to cut her out. Just so you know, it will, whether you're using any of these tools, we'll do select subject, right? We'll just do that on this layer right up here. It actually recognizes people, right? So if you just click select subject, it's going to select them, right? And then it's not going to be perfect, but let's go ahead and add a mask there. The thing I want to point out is like it will actually kind of capture their hair, because it's saying, hey, I know there's hair up here, and then it's going to give me hard edges other places. Let me show you actually. Let's click on this option. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Let me do that one more time, because I could force it to do delete layer mask. Hold down is it the shift key? I forgot what key it is.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is the old way. So just like we improve buttons and we just like, it's kind of my job as an evangelist to tell you what we did, because this is the old way that it would do it. So you'd have to go in with a refine edge, right? That's what it looked like before.
Yeah.
Kind of, I forced it to do the old way just by holding on the shift key, and this is like the after.
Look at that.
So that's just kind of nice.
Saves you so much time.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And again, what I would typically do in this scenario as well is use this button right over here, remove background.
Oh yes.
So it does 2 moves in one.
And then go back in and then do a couple of tweaks here and there.
I'm sure everybody's like, but it missed the so-and-so. I'm like, calm down. It's fine. I'll get it. Anyway.
I love it. Idea. Yeah, no, these are
not nearly as cool as yours. I mean, yours is the awesome, the awesome fun piece. But it all starts, it's all the same thing, right? It's like, here's an image.
Exactly.
And honestly, you did a good job of like finding the right images, using the right ones, cutting off the head of an elephant and putting it on the body of another elephant.
Yep.
When you need to.
Yeah, sometimes when you just want a particular look, you can absolutely do it by, cutting up a couple of different images and putting it together. Especially, in this case, like since I sketched a little ahead of time, I knew like, okay, this is exactly the look I wanted. So therefore I grabbed another elephant. But totally.
Yeah. And open to these suggestions, like Marcos is like, yeah, you can, there's probably still things, Farah, you want to touch up on it. Because it's like, what about the giraffe legs? Yeah, we could do different things like that. But you've used Puppet Warp a lot. So if you cared to bend the legs or whatever, like at the knees, you can do that. Of course, with giraffes, it's different per. Giraffes have really weird legs.
No, actually, I did this as a joke. It's funny you guys mentioned it, because the thing is with working with a lot of animals, most of the time their knees bend upward. So I know like giraffes, actually the knee bends out this way, but I'm like, you know what, for my image, it looks really odd. And I actually wanted people to like pick that out because that's like the little details and like the funny things about it is like I was trying to make him look more human-like, if anything, like us sitting down upwards, you know. But realistically, yeah, the giraffe cannot
Cool.
bend its knees this way. So
Yeah.
but it,
Like, yeah.
yeah. But you can do whatever
You
with animals.
got it.
That's why I kind of
Yeah.
like working with animals. It's kind of funny. You can do anything to it, and no one gets offended because it's just animals.
And no animals were harmed in the making of this, of
No,
course, as
no.
well.
They all volunteered, by the way.
Yeah, they volunteered. You had them into your house,
They're going
did
to
a
a
little
party right
photo
now,
shoot.
so
They all
exactly.
signed the required documents to use their image.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
everything's been
so
legit.
legit. So again,
Awesome,
guys,
Farah.
yeah, thank you so much. This was super fun. And if you guys want to keep in touch with me, you guys can find me on Instagram. Pop in there, and I'm on Behance and my YouTube page if you guys want to see more sort of time lapses, how I edit my work, and if there's ever anything you guys in particular are interested in, just let me know. So yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Well, I thank you for sharing your knowledge and your expertise and just having fun with us because
Yeah.
I've enjoyed, as a host, of course, I've enjoyed having you here. Super
Yeah.
chill and love
You guys are all
watching.
been fun, and even like everyone in the chat, like I love talking to you guys. So
Yeah, so keep the conversation going. Farah, you maybe have plans to, I don't know, live stream some more or like post some more
yeah,
videos to
if you guys are
YouTube and stuff like
interested,
that.
keep me posted. Let me know if you guys want to see me. I'll pop in. You never know.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much, Marsha. Appreciate it. Michelle as well for being so kind. And yeah, stick around. We got a full schedule today I'm going to leave you with. But thank you so much, Farah. We so appreciate you and everyone out there. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. We have the next Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge. I'll leave you
Bye,
with that
guys.
schedule. See you, everybody.
Yeah.